Medical malpractice is any situation where someone goes to a doctor or hospital and don't get the good care that they deserve. When that happens, there might be a case against that doctor or hospital for not providing the same quality of care that they're required to give all patients. Our clients come to us because they've lost a loved one who's died as a result of malpractice. They come to us because they've been paralyzed. They've developed serious life-changing brain injuries. They've developed blindness. So we've seen all kinds of really terrible harm that can come from medical malpractice. When clients come to us after experiencing medical malpractice, they're generally in a state of severe depression because the life that they used to have is over, and they have to learn to rebuild a new life in their new condition. And everybody approaches it differently, but there's a process. When it first happens, most of our clients don't believe they're ever going to be able to move on with their life. What I find is over time and the passage of many years, many of our clients find a way to live a new life. It's a different life, but it can be a good life. At Gideon Asen, we're very experienced handling medical malpractice cases. We've seen cases involving delayed diagnosis of cancer. We've seen cases involving infection and sepsis and death. We've seen cases involving spinal cord injury and paralysis. We've seen cases involving brain injury. We've seen birth injury cases involving injured little babies. If it's happened in a hospital or a doctor's office, we've seen it more than once. Medical malpractice cases are very complicated and difficult to litigate as an attorney. Number one, you have to have a lot of experience doing these types of cases so that you're familiar with the medicine and you're able to anticipate the kind of defenses that the hospitals and the doctors are going to raise. You also have to have resources to fund the cases. You have to be able to hire the best experts to assist you in presenting the cases. In Maine, we also have a specialized system for medical malpractice cases that most lawyers in the state aren't familiar with. So you have to have experience navigating that system as well. If you're successful in a medical malpractice case, there's no limit in terms of what you're allowed to recover. In some states, there are limits on damages. In Maine, there are no limits except for cases of wrongful death, which do have some limits. For all clients in a medical malpractice case, they're allowed to recover for the costs that they've incurred as a result of the injuries they've suffered. You can recover money for time out of work or for the fact that you may not be able to return to the job you had after your injury. And you can recover for what we call intangible losses, which are all the ways in which the injury has affected your life that can't be quantified in dollars and cents. Only a small percentage of medical malpractice cases end up going to trial, but it's the threat that we bring to bear that we're willing to try the case that allows the cases that don't go to trial to settle for the highest dollar amount. For medical malpractice cases, we have a very developed process for evaluating cases. Clients get a lot of our time on the front end, even for cases that we ultimately decide we can't take. Step number one in that process is that you're going to get a 30 to 60 minute phone call with either me or my partner Taylor. We're going to go through the whole sequence of events of the medical care, and then we're going to give you our opinion at that point after we've heard everything you have to say about whether we think there's a case or there isn't. If we do think that there's a case, at that point we go out and hire the experts we need to testify to support your case in order to prove your case. And once that whole process is done and we have experts lined up, then we're prepared to move forward with your case.